My name is Josh. This is Jenna, Maria, Yusong, and Keith, and we are Innobake Co. Today we'll be discussing a constant problem in the baking industry that we're passionate about solving. Cutting and separating layers of cake can be the most challenging part about making layered cakes. It can be extremely time-consuming trying to get a precise cut, and often the layers are left jagged or uneven. Even after cutting, the layers are often broken, or the pieces break off just due to being handled misproperly, as you can see on the video. Our solution to this problem is our new baking tool, the Slift, a swift slice and lift cake cutter and lifter that uses a rectangular blade to smoothly cut through each layer, and which also acts as a plate, so you can simply lift each layer away. We've been able to create a 3D printed prototype of our product, miniature version, which we've actually used to cut the small cakes that you see in front of you today.
So we have chosen to pivot our early adopters since our original plan. We are now focusing on a bit of an older demographic of those aged 40 to 60, as those would be the people more able and willing to buy our product. We are also focusing on females in the beginning, as these make up 4 out of every 5 home baker. Our value comes from a few key things: ease of use, time efficiency, and consistency. Because the product is targeted towards a more inexperienced baker, we have made it as easy to use as possible, so all it takes is one swift motion for them to slide the device through a cake and do both the jobs of cutting and separating the layers perfectly every time. Now, currently, the knife and the cake wire both aim to solve this problem, but both struggle with maintaining a steady cut throughout the cake and often lead to these crooked layers, and neither of these options do the actual job of separating the cake layers. The best option for this right now is the icing spatula, but because it does not support the full bottom of the cake, often still leads to broken layers. As for trends in the market right now, the baking supply market has actually increased about 25% within the past year, and within this market, cakes are the preferred thing to bake for about 26% of home bakers. We are excited to partner with Pooja Khanna of the Two Bliss of Baking food blog, who will not only give us feedback on how to better our product, but will also share it through her online platform in order to help us better reach our customer segment. Now, we plan on making revenue late within our first year of business. Through a $19.99 asset sale of business to consumers, we will focus mainly on our e-commerce website within the first year. This is the best way to build our brand loyalty and customer base, which will later get us into retail stores. We also plan on focusing on attending trade shows in the beginning, as this is the best way to reach our early adopters.
We're looking for an investment of $35,000. This will be used for the development and the marketing of the Slift, which includes extensive research into both the market and ways to fine-tune our product, in addition to creating brand awareness through trade shows. Obviously, a design patent is crucial to the business moving forward as well, and a portion of the ask is allocated towards manufacturing costs to start creating the product that we need to start selling. Finally, we wish to improve our e-commerce website, get incorporated, and apply for our trademark. Looking towards the future, our next steps are to apply for a design patent. Following that, we want to partner with a manufacturing firm competent enough to help us create our first minimum viable product to get into consumers' hands as soon as possible. And within the next year, we hope to start our trade show campaign, improve our online presence, and begin selling. Ultimately, our goal is to create a brand around innovative new baking products. Thank you for your time today. We welcome your feedback, and we hope you'll join our team. Also, check us out on our website, but otherwise, we'd like to open the floor for questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
What is the cost price to manufacture?
So our cost will be around $8 to $10, depending on what kind of materials we choose. So far, we decided to use rubber on our handle, which is around $0.7 per pound. And also, the body part will be used as stainless steel, which is around $1.02 per pound. So, and also the price from $8 to $10 also included all the shipping, distribution, materials, and the labor. And we are thinking to drop ship our products directly from the manufacturing company to the customer.
Are there any other questions we can answer?
You mentioned a pivot to an older demographic, and maybe I didn't hear you properly, but I was wondering a little bit more about that idea to pivot instead of to go after both.
Okay, yeah, so we believe that the older demographic are the people that would be more willing to buy a product like this, as well as how we saw that the older demographic in Canada is increasing. Josh can explain a little bit more about Jenna can explain a little bit more about how we got there.
Yeah, so based on our secondary research, we actually saw that the population in Canada is aging currently. So because of that, we were originally planning to focus on a younger demographic of those just going into the baking industry so that they would need to build up these skills. But we also found that a lot of people within the 40 to 60 age range, these are people who are kind of heading into the later stages of their life, maybe even going into retirement in the near future. So they're picking up hobbies like baking, things like that. So they would actually have the money to spend on a product like this and would be wanting it more.
So you had the one influencer, I forget her name now.
Pujikana.
Pujakan, yeah. So have you done more work validating that this is a problem that people think it's worth $20 solving versus the other solutions?
Yeah, so we have. So through our primary research, we did 7 interviews, all in the range of our early adopters, so 30 to 50-year-olds. They all said that they would buy a product even close to $40, so we believe that $20 would be a good price range.
And just to add on to Maria's point there, we have actually talked to quite a few bakeries within Calgary and even bakeries across the world. And all of them that we talked to mentioned that this would be a really good product to target towards a home baker who doesn't have those technical skills and expertise that a baker would have.
Sorry, to add on to that furthermore, we're also excited. We have 3 letters of intent that have said that they would be willing to buy this product as soon as it launches into the market.
So are the letters of intent from individuals or from stores?
They're individuals. We're hoping for the future to get more into retail stores. Right now, we want to build a brand on innovative baking products through our online e-commerce website.
Right. So the main focus would be an e-commerce website. And you mentioned trade shows. Do you know which trade shows you'd want to attend?
To be honest with you, it'll be more so kind of like the home shows that tend to pop up. Probably more research needs to be done yet on like the specifics, but obviously I've worked at a few kind of trade shows here and there with other companies, but that was kind of where the thought came from on that end. So.
We also believe trade shows will be a really good way to get into retail stores as well as professionals and to show them our innovative idea and how it works.
Have you given any thought to pairing with like a known or established brand? It seems like a product that, if you get a kind of a branded approach to it and had a branding strategy, that could be an effective approach for, getting uptake for the product.
So we haven't actually looked that much into that, but I think it would be a very valuable option. I think that we would love to have our own innovative brand, but if it comes to that, it would be a really good alternative.
You mentioned a patent. Have you looked to see, is this patentable, and is there anything similar to it in the market?
We haven't. We have a price range about $2,000 to $5,000, and within a year, looking for a patent. I think our ideal is pretty unique. It's slice and lift, and there's nothing like it on the market. Pretty unique. So I wouldn't imagine any problems getting patent for it.
And just to add on to that, we have looked into the other products available, and we found that there was no product that actually combined the 2-in-1 feature of being able to slice and lift the cake layers. It's basically only your standard knife or your cake wire. So that was why the design patent would be viable for this.
As well, during one of our classes, a patent professional actually went in and we shared with him our idea, and he says that we would be eligible to apply for a design patent.